That's okay. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my next installment of Carving and Painting a Dwarf for Christmas. Let me just put down my Yuletide Christmas cottagecore aesthetic postcard. No, my aesthetic postcard to show that we are in the Christmas spirit and we are well on our way towards Christmas. As you can see, I bet you can guess what we are doing in today's episode. That's correct. We are sacrificing a cat to the eldritch heathen gods of old. Just kidding. Actually, we're just painting. We're painting the dwarf face. I started because someone like me is not very inept at painting. So I sort of only did half. So if I liked what I did, sorry, this thing's not focusing because of my Yuletide postcard. If I didn't like what I did on one side, I would not paint it that way. But I kind of do like what I did painting. Now some people will be like, that looks like trash, and then amateurs like me look at it and it's like, I don't see anything wrong with this. I like this. So I did half, and I feel like we can do half together now that I kind of know what I did with this side. Still kind of needs work. I used a concoction of antiquing wax to just sort of get around the edges here. Gives him kind of a dirty look, but that's okay because he's a dwarf. He lives in a mine. He digs and stuff. His eyes are a little pink. It looks like he went over to old Bilbo's house and had a little bit of fun at the party tree, you know what I'm saying? But hopefully as time goes on, it's kind of less obvious on this side that I painted, but right here he's got very pink eyes. So as it goes along, I'm hoping that he'll look less sleepy. Let's just use the word sleepy on that one. But I feel good about this, and I can sort of walk you through what I did on this side, and we'll paint the other side. And should be good. Okay, so I got my cup of water, and I got my skin paint, and red, yellows, and whites. What I did first, now this is probably the wrong way on how to do any of this, but I don't do my research, and I never paint, so forgive me if I make the stupidest mistakes imaginable. But I used to do a lot of ZBrush, which is like a 3D software. And I had a book at one point that told me how to paint skin. And of course, I'm doing this completely wrong. Much wronger than how I did before. Much wronger. Goodness. But what they did was they sort of painted the heat spots on the face. Right? You follow me? So the hottest parts of the face, for example, like the cheeks and the ears, they would paint red or specklet red. They do something like this. Speckle it all up. And just sort of hit it all around because there's various different spots. Like if you would look at infrared or like heat-seeking, heat-seeking stuff, you'll see spots are red on your face. Cheeks are red, your nose is red. Here, let me get some Let me do this better. More speckly, I should say. But your nose is red, and just random spots throughout are red. Okay? Follow me? I know it looks like he got attacked by a bear or something, but bear with me. We'll see how it goes. Sorry. I was doing just fine before you crazy people came along and started watching me. But, you know, and you have spots like this. Yellow is mid-level. Mid-level temperatures. So, like, around the eyes and all that kind of thing. It doesn't matter if it gets on the red spots, really. This is just an undercoating, honestly. What is an undercoating? I have no idea. I am just painting the way I think that you should paint. I have no idea. I am not trained in painting. As you can clearly see, I am not trained in painting. I'm just doing what I think is wise. And it may not be. And honestly, that's okay. So that's what I did first, honestly. I sort of did all that. Let me wipe off this brush. I'm not going to use this brush for anything else for a long time. And then you sort of let that dry for a little bit. Oh, wait, no, I had another thing that I did. This is another thing that they showed on the ZBrush book that I bought. Which is kind of draw little white squigglies. Of course, that's a big white squiggly, but that's okay. You just sort of draw squiggly. It's kind of like the fiber underneath your skin, you know? The texture in your skin. And of course, it's hard to draw a squiggly on wood with a, whatever this thing is. I think this is a clay sculpting tool, but that's okay, because I'm using it for what I think I should use it for. Sorry. I'm not used to filming yet. I've got this camera right up in my face. I'm paying no attention to the camera. It's just up in my face and I'm painting around it. But, just kind of hitting spots. Random spots, you know. Sort of you start getting something like this happening. You're like, boy, he's starting to look like a pot-marked weirdo. It's like, that's the point. He's supposed to. And then you sort of let that sit and dry for a little bit. You know, I'm not going to get the behind the head part because no one's ever going to see that part of the head. No one's going to see that back of the head, I don't think. I'm still working on this guy, but yeah, I'm not going to speckle and color his entire head, right? So I'm starting out with this. You let them dry, and you move on to the next. All right, and after all's said and done with that, you can start painting on the skin. What I noticed after all said and done, after you do all that nonsense and you sort of do all the upper parts and everything, you paint the skin over it, and you lose a lot of this. So you probably could just skip this whole thing, but it might make a difference. It could. I had to paint the rosy cheeks on and stuff again, so it's not like it pops up again, but it might just add a little bit extra depth. I don't know. I am a extreme amateur at painting. I barely paint anything ever at all. So don't take my words for it. This is not a tutorial on how to paint. This is just a kind of a vlog, a YouTube vlog of what I'm doing for just a project I want to work on. So I'm just going to start painting on the skin. We'll see how that goes. And I'll try to speed it up on the video. And we'll get to the next part after all's said and done. Alright, so I painted him. Do you see all the red and the whites and the yellows I put on there? Well, maybe kind of. It's just a little loose. It's a loose flesh paint, honestly. And as you can see, there's a lot more work to do. I still need to put the red highlights, and then I sort of dry brush them with some white. And then I hit them with some of the magic here. Folk art antiquing wax. And that does the magic around his wrinkly crevices. So that's what's going to happen after this guy dries for a little bit. And I'll see you when that time comes. And thus, we shall now commence the detail work. Now that this little fella's dry, I'm going to brush some red to give him a red nose, rosy cheeks, sort of red ears. He's a hot man, hot mess. And I'm gonna dry brush some white over the upper parts, and then hit him with some wax after all's said and done, and just bring out the wrinkles and such. So we'll start working on that, and we'll go back into super speed mode, and you can enjoy the sounds of the grocery store song while I work on this. And like that, a beautiful dwarf face has been painted. I've been noticing that I need to, well, I should have done a lot more sanding on that side. That's just kind of how I am. I work on one side of a sculpture until I like it, and then once I get to the second side, I'm like, you know, we'll get it close enough, and, that's how it is, and that's okay. I think he's looking great. I think he's looking good. And once you get some felt on him and give him a helmet and all that sort of stuff, he's going to start looking really good. So, I hope you enjoyed this this weird thing that I've done. And join me next time on the next episode of Murdering a Cat in the Name of the Heathen Gods of Old. I mean, carving a Yuletide dwarf. Goodbye.